God, in my perspective, puts you in positions for change. When it comes to companies, and this is from a business owner myself, you're just a number to them. There's always going to be someone else to do it, and there's always going to be someone behind you. Don't employ because you like this person or they are similar to you culturally or whatever. Get the right people for your job.
I think that's the kind of life of an entrepreneur, isn't it? You
Yeah.
gotta keep trying, you can keep optimistic until you get that, until you fulfill that need, you find your niche, and you can really start dialing into what you're doing and enjoy it, isn't it? But until then, you're going to keep trying different things.
Have money in your account. Don't just get up and leave your job. Please don't do that. Because bailiff will be knocking at your door. Do you know what I mean? You need to be able to protect yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Harinder Mullay. Welcome to my podcast today. I've got an amazing guest as usual, but this one's special because she was working as a well-paid recruitment agent before she decided to quit her job, pack it all in, and to start running this very podcast studio. And we're going to hear a bit about her journey because all of my guests so far have actually loved having her in the studio and speaking about her journey. And we thought, you know what better than someone in her position of starting their own business, having given up their job, starting their own business, and to share their journey now. She's got loads of great character. She's got loads of challenges that she's going to share today. And I cannot wait for you to meet her. So without further ado, Chloe.
Hello,
Hey.
hello everyone.
Hey.
Hey, woo.
Welcome. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. This is a long time
Yeah.
coming. We've been talking about this for a while now, so thank you. Thank you.
And no, you're welcome. And you've you've seen all my guests so far.
They've been amazing, by the way.
Thank you. I think
cool.
they have. They've been really cool.
Yeah.
And you're part of that now because
I get the opportunity to see the stuff that you guys don't get to see.
Yeah.
And honestly, the pod, I've said it from the beginning, on camera, off camera, that it's amazing. The guests that you're having, very insightful, just very authentic people.
Yeah.
And that's what I love to see. So yeah.
It's a diverse sort of background in terms of their business skills and what they're doing, right?
Them as a person, very diverse. Their career, their interests, very, very different. People in life that I probably on a day-to-day won't come across. So it's nice to hear their perspectives on life and how they live in it. So yeah.
And I think Chloe sort of seems to value the most out of this because she's directly in the studio. She even had a compliment by my last guest to say, actually, we need to mic her up and put a camera on her because she's got some really valuable feedback. Like she should actually be sitting here. And I'm sure she's going to be doing that because we're going to talk about her journey because you did have your own podcast before.
I did. So just for some context, the studio that we're in is called Haven Talk Studios. And the podcast I had at the time was called Haven Talks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was that faith-based, like sort of?
No,
it wasn't.
It wasn't. People think so, and they think I'm playing on the word heaven.
Yeah.
Like no. I can see where you can segue into that, but the way it started was obviously I just wanted to start a podcast, but it was more the feeling, because when it comes to podcasting, everyone wants it to be like my podcast is about this and it's about that. I didn't want to fall into a particular category. I wanted to talk about everything and anything. Sorry, and I wanted it to feel like a safe space. So that's the vibe I was getting. So when I was looking for a name, I was literally going on Google and I'm like, safe space, utopia. And then I went off thesaurus and I was Googling names and literally the word haven popped out at me.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't know what it was. I was like, yes. I didn't know what word to pair it with.
Yeah.
I tried chats, I tried different words, but talks made sense.
Okay.
And yeah, so essentially it was a safe space where we can talk about anything and everything.
Yeah.
So that's what Haven Talk stands for. And then with the pod, at the time I was nervous. I didn't want to start the pod on my own.
Okay.
So I asked some of my friends to jump on board with me. So it was 4 of us.
Yeah.
To give a shout out to you guys. You know who you are. And it was a beautiful 2-year journey. We made, like, in terms of viewership and everything, it was really, really good at the time.
Yeah.
This was like 2022.
Okay, yeah.
And we had a great time. I met so many cool people and it made me love the space because I've always been in the creative industry, but we'll talk about that. But in terms of the word Haven Talks and where I started from, I started podding.
And so was it in here?
No. So I didn't have the studio at the time. Where did I start? I started podding at a studio, really great studio, by the way, called No Stars in Wood Green. Shout out to them.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah. When we were searching for
studios,
studios, did come across.
Shout out to them.
Shout out.
They definitely made me appreciate how technical studios can be.
Mm-hmm.
But we started off with them. They were very affordable at the time, and I think still are, but at the time, and it was just easy. Every week we used to go there. Every Wednesday at 7, that was our recording time. Yeah. Everyone was working. It was a perfect time during the week. We didn't want to go on the weekend.
Yeah.
Perfect. So every week we'll go in the studio every week, just going back to back, and that was about it really. Yeah, so that's how that's how the podcast.
What was your podcast about when you?
Again, it wasn't about anything. It was more the feeling. So we could talk about pop culture. We could talk about politics. We can talk about meds. Anything, as long as is within our scope. And if it was something that we didn't have much knowledge on, we'll bring someone on board to talk about it with us.
Okay.
But the feeling was, we liked banter.
Yeah.
It was heavy banter.
Yeah.
Like, you see, like shits and gigs type banter.
Yeah, that's
heavy.
Yeah.
It was heavy because in life you have to laugh. If you don't laugh, you'll cry.
Yeah.
That's literally my motto in life. So heavy banter, but there's a moral of the pod and the story. So you're gonna learn something from it, but you're gonna have fun with it because life is already hard enough. So when you come to my space, I want you to feel like, you know what, this is my weekly dose of dopamine.
Yeah.
That 1 hour, 1.5 hour session, I'm gonna watch this and I'm gonna laugh throughout, but I'm gonna learn something from it. So
I can imagine because you're
I'm
funny, they're hilarious.
Very energetic, yeah.
And it's like really cool because you've got like that whole entrepreneurial spirit as well, which we're going to dive into.
Yes.
But you've got that comedy value as well. Like you can, like you said, you don't take life too seriously. Things are fun. They're good. And I can, guys, we're going to stick the link to the podcast, actually closed podcast, in the description below. So do check it out. And actually this very studio, which we're going to go talk about in a moment, is Chloe's. She set this up from scratch. She's got 2 studios. This studio itself has 2 rooms. So we'll put the link below. So do check it out. Support as a local business because I was going to save this for later, but you know what? She's an amazing engineer. She's got loads of character, loads of experience within podcasting, and she gives great feedback. All my guests have absolutely loved her, and I'm not just gassing her up. This is for real. Like I came here thinking, okay, yeah, we'll probably use this for a little while and then see how we get on. But this is like home now. I come here once a week, twice a week sometimes. Yep. And this we on brand with for me in terms of the blue
and everything.
It's a lovely vibe in here. It's local to me, East London. I know everyone's sort of guests tend to come a bit further afield. And it's just really easy to work with you and your sister Rachel.
I appreciate you because it's you've come a long way. When I think about the journey, because when you're in it, it's different. You just go in day by day. But when I sit back, I'm just like, we've done so much.
And you look back in it.
It's crazy. So obviously had the pod. Doing the pod back to back. Unfortunately, the cost of my pod at the time was all on me. Just for different reasons, but it was all on me. And I just felt like, I can do this. Now, in terms of my entrepreneurial spirit, it's always been there. I have failed forward so many times, guys. And a lot of people who are successful in their journey doesn't usually start successes. I have one idea, then it took off.
Yeah.
People always starting. So trust me, I'm 28 now. Yes, I'm going to reveal my age, but I've been in the creative industry since I was 17 years old. So this is it took me 10 years. But I started this at 26, the studio itself. So it took me about 10 years to get to where I am now. So a bit of backstory. Obviously jumped on the YouTube bandwagon, loved filming stuff.
Is this back when you were 17?
When I was 17. So between 17 and 19, I was heavy on YouTube. I loved makeup. I don't wear it as much anymore, but loved it at the time. Thank you. I don't wear it as much anymore, only when I have to, okay? But yeah, I started doing, I was a makeup artist for about 3 years, yeah. So I was just doing that on the side. I had a little Primark job, so I needed extra money. And I was good. I've always been talented in terms of like creating stuff anyway. So did that for a couple of years, really enjoyed it. Met a lot of people that I'm still good friends with to this day. Then I got to uni and I was like, I can't be shutting it back and forth. I wasn't driving at the time. I was like, who's dragging a suitcase with makeup up and down England? I'm not doing that. So I stopped that, focused on uni. I got a little Wilco job while I was out there.
Yeah. Where did you go uni?
Wolverhampton.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wolverhampton.
The Wolverhampton. Still good friends. A lot of people there. Uni was the best years of my life. Yeah. Like every time I think back, I'm like, I had such a good time. But went to Wolves, did that.
What did you study, sorry?
International Business Management.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Did that. While I was there, I got another job and I was shuttling back and forth to London. So I started working at the cable car. So I don't know what it's called now. If it's called IF something Cloud or whatever. But it's
in Wolverhampton?
In North Greenwich.
Okay, yeah.
So I think I started off in Wilco, and then around second year, I got a job in London. So I used to travel back and forth every weekend. Every single weekend because the money was better, but it is what it is. And I think just doing those little jobs. People like to diss all these little customer service, hospitality type of jobs, but I feel like they're very foundational in terms of customer service and how your personality is going to come across. So
build a foundation.
It really, really does, because I use it now.
Yeah.
So yes, I hated earning my little £6 an hour at Wilco, and I hated speaking to the customer that was fighting me over 99p over toothpaste. Do you understand? But I know how to deal with conflict.
Yeah. All
of these little jobs helped me. Now, moving on to more the recruitment side of things. When I finished uni, I was still working at the cable car, but I knew I had to get out. But I did have some work experience. So backtracking a little bit, when I was in college, I got 6 weeks work experience at Citibank.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't like investment banking. I mean, I know everyone's like, why not? I just didn't like it. It was too hectic.
Yeah, everyone I speak to is like left.
Yeah, I just didn't like it. I know it was only 60 work experience and they didn't put me in the job, but just being on the outskirts doing the admin, I was like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. But I liked the big glass building. I was like, I want to be in here. This is a bit of me. And at that time, I had like my sister, my cousins, my parents, my aunties, uncles are doing big corporate jobs. I just thought that was the lineup. For me, that's what I had to do.
Yeah.
Going back after finishing uni, I was like, I need to get out of here. I need an office job. So at this point, I was like, I'm going to do anything. So I ended up landing a job as a resourcer in a very tiny recruitment agency. Now, I always tell people that if you want to get into office space and you've never been in the office, 2 jobs that are junior level roles, but it's easy to get into, is being a resourcer at a recruitment agency or compliance admin.
Okay.
Just to get in there.
Yeah, I get you.
That you have office experience, just to get in there. You can go into any industry you want after that if you're struggling. This is if you're struggling to look for a job. If we're able to land you a scholarship or schemes, whatever, that's fine. But anyway, resourcer. So I was a resourcer at a recruitment agency. Hated it. Moved up in that agency. I started to be a shift coordinator. So that's when my heavy customer service was in there. Because obviously I had like 100 support workers that I was working with, putting them on shifts all over this region of England. That was
intense.
Difficult. Yeah. The pay wasn't paying at all for what I was handling. It was difficult. But the coordination of the shift coordinator, the coordinating part of it, helped me structure myself as a person and made me realize how important it is to be structured.
Yeah.
And I like that element. Because no day was the same. Mm-hmm. Yes, we're doing the same things every day, sending the same schedules out and everything, but there was different scenarios, and I like that element of any role I do. From that job, a vacancy came up as a recruitment coordinator for that same company. While I was working there, I am going to mention this because it's important. While I was working in that role, great role, but the diversity in the job itself was not there.
Okay.
I think in the office space, there was myself, I was one black person, and then there was 1 Indian lady and 1 Pakistani guy. That was it. And there was like 100 of us.
Wow.
It was crazy.
How did that make you feel, like being sort of, like you said, the lack of diversity in a work?
Not supported. Things will happen. Like, I've heard N-words thrown in the office. I've heard, who am I going to? HR, who is a part of this same clang. It was very, very uncomfortable. There was just no, I didn't have anyone in my corner. So I said, you made the wrong person the recruitment coordinator. That office was colourful within 6 months.
Really?
It was a whole different office. And the CEO was looking at me funny. I was like, don't look at me funny.
Yeah.
First of all, you need these people. Just in general, their skill set, they're great people. They've got the background. Because that company in particular, not all, but the people that were working had no experience in the roles that they were doing.
Yeah.
So it was more referrals and who they know that got landed in these roles.
As well, like people,
exactly,
like family and stuff.
All that crazy stuff. But as soon as I recruited the right people, yes, with the intention of making it more diverse, but the right people for the role, profits went up, things started changing.
Yeah.
And then at first the CEO was look at me funny, but within like 6 months of me being there, he called me to a meeting to say, I just want to say, like, you've done such a great job of recruiting. This person gels this person, look at our profit margin, Mind you, I'm just a recruiter, and I'm like, oh, okay, well done.
Yeah.
I didn't
get
a bonus.
CEO at that point.
Do you know what I mean? I didn't get no bonus or nothing for it, but it was them ones where it's just like, this is what I'm saying, employ correctly.
Yeah.
Don't employ because you like this person or they are similar to you culturally or whatever. I'm not trying to imply anything, but I think you know what I'm trying to say here. But get the right people for your job.
But it's important. Like you've seen, you said yourself, you've experienced, the CEOs experienced the fact that actually because you've diversified in terms of the people that you recruit based on their skill set for the job, his own profit margins went up.
Changed. He was on holiday every other week. I'm like, see, look at your pockets. Well, my pockets aren't swelling, but his pockets are swelling. But it was then once he was happy, you know? So it made me feel like, no, I liked the leadership element or being a lead in this part of the business. I loved it. I loved that. I loved the feeling it gave me. I loved the autonomy it gave me. And it being another coordinator role, it just made me level up even more. Obviously, you leave jobs for many reasons. I left that job because it just wasn't paying enough. And I wanted something different. I wanted the actual managerial title now.
Yeah, because you've already experienced and demonstrated that you're a leader, right?
Yeah.
You've like implemented this, like it's a massive like task to do something like that, right?
It is. And obviously I was asking for help if I can get another person on board. I wasn't getting the help I needed. So I said, I can't do this. I'm drowning at this point.
Yeah.
So conveniently, job searching, I saw executive recruitment coordinator role at Citibank. And I was like,
you want to get back into banking?
Let me just apply.
Yeah.
Didn't think anything. I applied for, like anybody, you apply for hundreds of jobs, don't you?
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, whatever, cool. Applied for the job. Within like 2 days, I got a call back and I was like, okay, cool. The structure was totally different. Obviously, with the recruitment agencies in the UK, everyone's in one house, everyone's there. When it came to a big machine like Citibank, everyone's all over the gaff. So my manager was in the Philippines.
Okay.
Yeah, that was different. And that
he was actually living there. Not
he my manager was in the Philippines. He wasn't here. What? We had a London team, but because it was COVID time and everyone was remote. So, and with the London team, we didn't need each other to do our jobs.
Yeah.
So I never really met them.
Oh,
I think I met them once.
So you were working from home doing your bit?
Yeah, I worked there for about a year and a half and I only met my team once. Yeah.
I mean, considering it's COVID, I guess.
Exactly. So with that job, it was still a recruitment coordinator, but it was an executive one. So it led me to manage some junior RCs in recruitment coordinators in the Philippines, which was cool.
Yeah.
So I had my own tasks. But now I'm given that responsibility. Like it's in my title now. I can actually do it.
Yeah.
So it was scary because I've never done that before. Now there's like elements like reports and attendance stuff I had to do. I never done any of that stuff. But what it taught me was without a team, I'm nothing. And I've had bad managerial experience for me. So like I didn't want to be that manager. It's not about always being nice and friendly, but it's like work is already, that's my personality. Work is already hard enough.
Yeah. Don't
make my life harder.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? So as long as you understand me as a person, obviously you got any issues, let me know. Cool. We can work through it, but don't let anything slack. Do you understand? It's just like, if I give you this, just make sure it's done when it's this.
Yeah.
If there's an issue, tell me before.
Yeah,
fix
so
it.
we can fix it.
Very, very simple. And then we had a good time, even though they were in another country, we were talking all the time. Teams, they would just call me randomly. Oh, I had a free pocket of time. I've done my work. I was checking in on you. How's it going? It was getting to that. So it was really, really nice.
Yeah.
Then, unfortunately, well, we're not going to get there yet. With the podcast, so my podcast was simultaneously happening at the same time. Okay. So we're still darting from studio to studio. And what year was it? I think it was summer 22. I was just like, I was fed up in paying for studio sessions, and I just saw that there was a gap in the market. At the time, there wasn't any studios, as many studios in London. Right now, there's a million.
There's loads.
But there's loads. But at the time, there wasn't many. And then the ones that you found were like very plain. And then the ones that were nice were too expensive. And at the time, I wasn't in a position to blow this X amount of money on studio time. So I said, oh, well, I did makeup. I tried a clothing line one time. I might keep that name for something else. So I'm not going to tell you guys. I've done different things. Why not try this?
Yeah.
I've been very optimistic. I'm always optimistic. I'm like, just if you don't try.
I think that's the kind of life of an entrepreneur, isn't it? You have to keep trying. You can keep optimistic until you get that, until you fulfill that need. You find your niche, and you can really start dialing into what you're doing and you enjoy it, isn't it? But until then, you're going to keep trying different things. It's
exactly.
Like, we spoke to Lewis the other day, and it was like, I did a bit of photography, did a bit of marketing and social media. Like everyone's probably done it. Anyone's entrepreneurial.
You've done a billion things.
Yeah.
You've always tried. So all of these things kind of like added up. The corporate stuff. So as you can see, like the corporate career is still going, but I'm still trying to find myself in the creative field. So one of our podcast sessions happened in, I can't remember his name, but a lot of podcasts go there. I don't know if you know the podcast like 2 Shots of Tequila. No? Anyway, there's a popular podcast studio at the time, and it still kind of is. It's in his garage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. didn't know that.
Oh,
so
that sounds familiar. Is it here?
It's in London. It's in I don't know what part of, maybe Essexy. It's on the Central Line, like the end of it, like I don't know, like
Epping Forest?
Yeah, them sides.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
we'll check it out.
We'll check it out. But anyway, went there and I didn't know it was in the garage. I was like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Really cute setup.
Yeah.
Really friendly guy. And I saw it and I was like, I got a garage.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah.
Quite literally, I started the studio in my garage.
Oh, wow.
So I said, okay, I bought a camera. I didn't know, first of all, setup, I didn't know what I was doing. I thought I only needed one camera angle.
Yeah.
I didn't know things about, like, there's a law in Europe about cameras, or a restriction, not a law,
Really?
a policy, a restriction on cameras in terms of how long it can roll for. So there's only a handful of cameras. That's why in podcast studios, this is a tip if you want to start a studio, there's a handful of cameras that you can use. So you'll either see people using like Lumexes like myself, or like Blackmagic cameras, because it continuously rolls.
Oh, yeah, because after it's usually about an hour afterwards.
Yeah, so a lot of cameras will cut out 15 minutes, 30. That means that you have to get up every 20, 30 minutes and stuff.
Changing the
SD
card, okay.
So these are all the things I was learning. But where I live in a very isolated place. And I was like, the location is terrible. No one's going to come over here. I live in Timbuktu. It's not going to happen. So no, the first 3 months, I never had one customer because I was too scared to promote it.
Yeah.
It looked cute. Like if you go on our podcast page, our last season, I believe, no, the season before that, a couple of episodes was in the garage and it looked nice.
Yeah.
But the lighting was poor, that type of vibe. So I'm happy I did that because I learned so much.
I was going to say, in that moment, you can learn.
You learned so much.
And to get to the standard that you need to be. Right?
Exactly. What made me officially like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this properly was, yes, I was having my corporate career, but I started getting comments from people saying things like, oh, got any customers yet? Got any customers yet? It was, for me, it felt shady.
Yeah. Oh, for your podcast studio? Because you started that whilst you were still working.
Yeah, so I started at home and I was telling people about it, but I know I wasn't promoting the way I should have, but people were aware and I kept on getting very shady comments.
Are they family and friends? Or
they were considered friends at the time.
Okay.
And I felt a type of way about it, I'm not going to lie. I will answer, I'm like, no, not yet. No. I was very shy and upset about it, I'm not going to lie, but I'm just like, okay. But I was just like, no, I'm gonna do it properly. You're being shady, and I know I can do this. I'm gonna do it properly. Yeah. So
it's the element of showing them actually you can do it.
Exactly. So I was like, but what do I do? I've never rented a commercial space before. I've never done any of this. Now I actually owe rent, and what's going on? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I told my mum. I said, Mum, I was like 20. I was 26 at the time, so I want to do this. But I think. At the time, and I'm giving you real figures, guys. This is real life, yeah?
Yeah, this is what I want to hear, the raw
I literally only had $3,000 in my account.
Wow.
I said, Mum, I've only saved $3,000. I only got one camera angle. But I need to pay for deposits and everything. And I needed to look at least half decent. What do I do? Shout out to her and my sister. They all helped me sponsor. Wow. We made like $7,000. It wasn't a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? To start a studio is a lot more than $7,000, guys. But started off and everything in the studio, I built it myself. With myself, my sister, my friend. The floor, the painting. We have walls in here that I've never dealt with wood in my life, and I managed to build a wall by myself.
Guys, this is insane. Like this whole setup is beautiful. I love it. Like I love coming here. Like got the black wall here. You can't see a lot of this behind the camera, which we'll maybe try and get some angles for if you want. And you got like this. There's like a curtain here. You got a wall here that you've made. You got this beautiful kind of furry kind of backdrop. Yeah. And there's another studio behind the curtain as well.
And the studio has evolved. The studio did not look like this when we started.
Okay.
It didn't.
Yeah.
The couches, these have lasted actually quite long. So these lasted. There's a couch as well that we have here that's out of service right now. But that, you know.
Tried and tested.
Yeah, tried and tested. It's been definitely used, but everything's changed over time. So nothing's ever linear. It's always going to change. But when we started, it was good for what it was in the what's it called? In the industry, the UK especially. So I didn't feel like I was lagging or behind or my studio was crap. I thought at the time it was the bee's knees. So I thought it was really good.
It's nice seeing that progression though, just from that perspective, actually, to see how much you've grown. Because this is like professional level, right? Yeah. I've loved the armchairs. They're really comfortable as well to sit down. And the lighting's great. You've got some nice little props and stuff.
Yeah. So we've come a long way. But the corporate job's still happening, right? So we're still doing that. I'm enjoying the city role because it was perfect for what I wanted to do. I was remote, so I can move around and do whatever I wanted. So I can work here and then go there if I needed to.
Yeah.
No one, my manager's not here, so what does he know? Do you know what I mean? So I can actually just live my life. And that role, what happened next was I was made redundant. The whole London team was made redundant. 2 months after I opened the studio.
Wow.
Oh my God, my whole world was coming down.
Yeah, I bet.
And the way it happened, I understand redundancies need to happen, but the way it happened, I felt like it was ridiculous.
Really?
And I'll say it to this day. I literally got to work. I came here, opened my laptop, and my manager called me. It wasn't the same manager. Big up to him. It was another manager. He got a new role, so we got someone else now. Wasn't a fan of her. Anyway, called me, and she said, "Oh, these tasks for today. This person in the Philippines is going to do it. Yeah, don't worry about your task for today." I'm like, so what the hell am I going to do today? I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean my task has been given to this person?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, so-and-so in Turkey is going to call you. I called my sister straight away. I said, something's up. And I feel like, because in my head, I'm thinking, like, did I do something wrong? Like, did I breach something? What did I do? I'm in panic mode. I'm like, no, I've done everything right. Nothing's come up. Like, I'm surfing emails. Like, did I disrespect? Because they were very, like, sensitive there.
Yeah.
Did I disrespect someone? What did I do? Like, I'm in panic mode. I was like, call my sister. I'm like, my job, like, I don't know what's going on. The manager called me, and another manager called me like 30 minutes after, called the whole London team 30 seconds after, and just basically announced that we're all made redundant.
What?
Yeah.
Just on the spot? No notice, no letter, no formal, like...
And you must have known this for at least almost a month before you told us.
Oh, easily.
At least.
Easy.
So you can just ease us into it, but on the day, on the spot, and we're like, what?
There's no options there or nothing. You've literally all just been made redundant.
Yep.
You'll have to go.
Yep. So it was a 4 weeks process in terms of our last day, but that day, that's what they said. And literally, they just they didn't even give us any work to do until the 4 week mark. Wow. So we were just kind of just doing here and there jobs. So could you help this person do that? Can you help this person do that? So my team was ripped away from me. My task was ripped away from me. HR was doing what HR does. And I was worried because I wasn't making rent at the studio enough yet. I was probably making like half. I wasn't making any profit. And I was nervous. I just put my $3,000, my life savings into this space. Like, what do I do?
Yeah.
You know? And you feel bad because your parents has chipped in. My sister's chipped in.
Yeah.
I've announced it to the whole world. Am I failing already? Like, really? Oh, Chloe's done it again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
I was so panicked. But 2 weeks after redundancy, HR contacted me and they gave me a fat check. And I was like, yeah.
Nice.
And nice. I said, okay, I'm happy to go.
Well,
So, okay. I was like, they were like, oh, do you want to leave early? I said, I'm happy to leave early. It's fine. Just give me my money, like, this time.
Put it in my account.
Put it in my account now.
Here's my details.
Yeah, like literally, I was like, wow. Okay, I'll happily go. And I used every single penny of that money to elevate this space.
Wow.
The best I could. So 1 camera turned into 3 cameras.
Yeah. Cameras aren't cheap, right? Like,
they're not cheap. Cameras are not cheap.
Cameras, lenses, like...
Whether you bought it outright or secondhand.
Even, yeah.
They're expensive. So, and obviously through the process, I got a lot of things on like, what's it called? Payment plans. So I paid off everything. Everything's now mine.
Yeah.
I
own it outright, right?
I own everything outright. I bought all my equipment. So the audio system I had, I bumped it up. I did everything, and I'm still using it until this day. Do you know what I mean? This equipment is not cheap. I didn't have business. Can you imagine? I started a business without business insurance. I didn't get any. I got business insurance. I got all the things I really, really wanted to do. You know, so exactly. I put money away for rent for about a couple months. You know, so. I felt comfortable. I was like, okay, Chloe, you got about 4 months to get this thing going or your money's gone. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, cool. But I didn't feel comfortable yet. I didn't feel comfortable just 100% just diving in. Even though I wish I did, I didn't. I got a new job.
Oh. Okay.
Within 4 weeks of my last day at City, I was able to start a new job.
Right.
And I started at Adecco.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I remember.
Yeah, I started at Adecco. And I was a... what's my role there? The official title is HR Operations Delivery Manager. Mm-hmm. So we had a client that I can't reveal, unfortunately, but nah, I'm not going to doubt.
It wasn't Citibank, was it?
Let me just leave it there. But I had a really big client that we were working with, and we would just handling their campaigns for their job roles that they wanted, and it was continuous. So there was a team of like 50 of us.
Yeah.
And each out of us 50, there was about maybe 6 teams. So my team was always going up and down in terms of people, but I'll have up to 10 people at a time. And each person be working on like 4 campaigns at a time.
Wow.
So 4 times 10 is what, 40 people, 40 campaigns. So on average that I'm managing at the same time, as well as people.
Yeah, that's insane.
I thought that was unrealistic. I was drowning. I don't know how I was trying to keep that ship afloat and we managed it, but it was ridiculous. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, the deco, but the structure was crazy. It wasn't realistic for what we wanted to do. A lot of campaigns went sour. Thankfully, none of mine did. So as well as managing all those campaigns, making sure the client's okay with it, making sure the matrix look right. So when I'm entering these meetings with the clients, and we did like MI reports, which is like matrix index in recruitment, well, in the job I was doing, so we're measuring like gender, if they've got disability, age ranges. So this week, how many people applied? Okay, cool. We want it to be at 20%. So it's putting those matrix together manually through the system, understanding what's on the paper, translating that to the client and making sure that they're happy every single week, as well as making sure my people on my team are happy and not overwhelmed with work and emails and, So the coordination of all of that I've been doing all these years came into play with this role.
Wow. Okay.
It was a heavy role, heaviest role, they should pay me more, heaviest role I've ever had. And it made me realize that I can do anything.
Yeah.
I learned how to manage people's expectations and feelings at a managerial level, a senior managerial level. Yeah. That's very hard because you don't want to offend anybody, but you want to make sure the work is done. So, yeah. You need to make sure that they're okay and that type of stuff. But it came to the point where the only thing good for me that came out of the job was the people I worked with. And I still follow them today. We still talk to this day. Shout out to all of them. You know who you are. They made that experience so, so good for me because, again, they understood what I was about. Life is already hard enough. This job is hard, guys. Yeah. Let's not make it harder. Don't be a pain in the bum. Don't just get to work on time.
Do your bit.
Just do your bit. If you're tired, if you're overwhelmed, let me know. We can see all hands on deck. I wasn't the type of manager that just delegates and dictates. If something's going down, we're all going down together. So everyone, I will stay behind. We're on the systems. Oh my God, we made an error. We're all sitting there trying to figure this out. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like in life, if you're able to work together with people, solutions can happen quicker.
Yeah.
So
I think that's amazing because you've gone a lot of managers I've even worked with as well. They probably don't even show up and not even there at the job.
They don't know how to use the system. They don't know how to do nothing.
And it's you kind of even find how are you in this role? You know what I mean? Whereas you're hands-on, you're there in the trenches with your team and you're showing them I can help you. What do you need? And you even said you're thinking about their feelings. Which a lot of managers don't even care. And
it's weird because you were never a manager your whole life. You were junior level stuff at one point in life. You know how it feels to not have a manager that supports you. I don't understand how people can be, and I want to say, can get so big headed and forget that. It's crazy. Without your team, you are nothing. Yeah. If your team is not performing, you look crap. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So when I was leaving that job, I'll tell you why I left. When I was leaving that job, every job I've left, except for the city one because it was remote. I got the flowers in the card, but because I didn't appreciate or necessarily like the people I worked with, I didn't really care for it. But when I left that particular job, my team went bits.
Really?
They were so sad, and I was so sad. Yeah. And it got me teared up. When I got to my desk that day, my desk was decorated. That's amazing. I got gifts that I didn't think they'll be. They got me a Joe Malone type of diffuser. Yeah. And those are not cheap, by the way. They got me a Millie's cookie. They got me these beautiful flowers. They took me out to a leaving lunch that I've never done. I mean, you see that on a regular, but I've never done that for myself. So it was very, very different. People are actively setting up these things for me because I'm not really the one to always. I feel weird accepting gifts from people. I'm usually the one giving. Yeah. So it was very strange, and I even get emotional when I think about it because they were such a great team. Yeah. So when I was leaving, it made me sad. But the reason why I left, because we're going to go into why you should leave your role to be an entrepreneur and everything. But also, if you do love your corporate career, it doesn't stop you from being an entrepreneur at the same time.
Still do it, yeah. Providing that you can balance it too.
If you can balance it too, exactly. I'm not against it. Some parts of me feel I kind of still want to work on my corporate career. But the reason why I left was I had a manager at the time that wasn't doing great at her job. And we were trying to work together the best way we could. And at the time, I had a people-pleasing tendency about me, which, thank God, I rebuke it. It's gone. But it was very hard for me to like overtly be like, hey, you're really crap at this job. I'm not going to lie. Like,
did you say that?
I wish I did.
Yeah.
I wish I did. I said it in many ways, but
You're saying it now.
Yeah, yeah. And as nice as a person she was, I didn't really care how nice you were. The job wasn't being done properly. It was being done half-heartedly. You're very rude to people. You were just kind of nasty in a way. And even to me at times, like, she had to apologize to me. Because even though, yes, I have people-pleasing tendencies, don't mess with me either, because I will tell you about yourself. So it was kind of that vibe. It was very hostile.
That's good to have that, though, isn't it? Because people don't necessarily know how to defend themselves.
No.
Especially, like you said, if you're kind of people-pleasing, but then at the same time, you're defending yourself. That's a really important skill to have.
Exactly. In business as well. You're correct, 100%. So she was sacked, basically. She wasn't doing well at all. So she didn't pass.
So people, at least they knew it, seniors above her.
We were always complaining. Even I complained. Because I'm like, I can't work with this.
Yeah.
You know, every time.
One job.
You've got one job. You're never here. You're always sick. You're always this. There's always something going on.
Yeah.
She got the sack, basically. And even while she was here, I was doing her job.
Oh, that's...
Parts of her job.
Yeah.
So when she left, for that 2 months, I didn't have anyone to replace her. So who was doing her job? Me. I was doing my job and I was doing her job. Some management did step in to do elements of her job because I couldn't do everything, of course. But for the most part, I was keeping the team afloat. Now, there's other people in the business that are definitely eligible for her role as well, 100%. So when the role came out, I didn't expect them to ask me if I wanted to do the role because I know they had to be fair when it comes to HR. So you had to put the role out. Cool. I applied, of course I did. Why wouldn't I? I've been doing this job for the past couple of months anyway. Other people applied. With that company, nothing was confidential, so everyone kind of knew who applied, and that's when the competition starts, right? I hated this phase. I didn't really care because I felt like I did have a good chance, and if they didn't, there was viable people within the lineup anyway. So I was comfortable with certain people that applied. There was one particular person that applied, and I really don't care if this makes me look bitter. I'll be totally honest with you, because I don't know how she's doing now, and I hope she's doing a great job now. But at the time, myself and a lot of people didn't think that this person was the right fit. This person was on my team.
Oh.
She moved over while I was doing my job before my manager got sacked. A team leader role came up, like a sub, like a junior team leader role, and I said, "Go for it." I helped her with her interview prep. We talked about it. She was I helped mentor her, as well as other management to help her get this junior level role. And the job that she ended up getting, which is that job that my manager got, is like 2 steps ahead. So she jumped
twice. That's insane.
Is she good at her job? Well, I don't know how she is now, but yes, she was good at a recruitment, campaign coordinator role and a junior level manager. But for me, that was it. And it's nothing to do with ageism, but she was young. This is her first manager. You need to be comfortable.
Yeah.
There's elements like
it's life experience.
It helps.
You need to get that.
You need to get the life experience. You need more duration in your role to understand it a little bit more, and the people, because aside from her being good at the physical role, the people management was terrible.
Oh, her
terrible. Skill. You are a manager now. Not saying that you can't have friends. Do you know what I mean? But it was
There's a line, isn't it?
There's a line, and you can't tell them certain things. And so she didn't understand what boundaries was, and very rude, and people were in meetings and you're screaming in the office, and very childish. Yeah. You know, I think she was definitely under the age of 23.
Wow, that is young. And because that's not just jumping, that's jumping above your level, isn't it? So like, that's insane.
So this is someone I've trained, I've taught, I've helped mentor at certain parts. And yeah, so I definitely, when I found out that she got the role, I thought that was insane. Me and every other people, a lot of other people think that was crazy. And I'll be totally honest. And do I feel like a role can be something that can be taught? Yes, but you also need experience in certain things as well. And I definitely feel like at the time, she didn't have it at all, because I was her manager for a good amount of time.
You've seen her.
I've worked with her. I know her. She wasn't ready for that role. Don't know how she's doing now. I hope you're doing a great time. I hope you're doing a great job. But at the time, I didn't. But I definitely felt a type of way about it, because you made me work with this, not her, but my ex-manager. You made me work with her for a year and a half.
Yeah, you're doing half a role.
To not even give me a chance and opportunity. To not even give me at least a pay rise. If you're going to give her the role, at least give me more money. Do you know what I mean? or relieve. And then when she got the role, they tried to ask me, "Oh, can you help train her and stuff?" I said no.
Oh, that's like
You're
that's kicking the
insane.
teeth, isn't it?
I said definitely not.
Yeah.
So within about 2 days of her getting the role, I went home. Obviously, I ranted and raved to myself. I was like, I was upset. I'm not going to be on it because I worked so hard.
Yeah, of course.
I worked like a dog, and everyone saw that. I would come in early. I would leave late. I would be dealing with stuff. I have teammates crying. I dealt with a lot, and everyone saw that. So I was upset and I was bitter, and it is what it is.
But what did you really feel like? Is that what you felt like? How did you feel?
I felt not appreciated at all. No acknowledgement. I've been here. I haven't even gotten a pay rise at all. Because earlier select few, I don't know how they worked, but like when it came to pay rise season, I think it's a budget thing. So they'd reward it to who's doing good.
Okay.
I never got a pay rise.
Yeah.
They used to do, every month they had it's called like a family forum. I hate when companies say, "Oh, we're a family," we're not. But
just try and make it work.
Try and make it work. But we'll come together, the company, there's like a little like auditorium area, and they go through finances, and they have a section where they always highlight people. And I never missed a month of a shout out from a client. This is not people in Adecco. It's the client that's emailing them saying, "Chloe's done this, Chloe's..." Wow. Every single month. I was there for nearly 2 years. Every single month. Not one. I never got nothing from them. And yeah, I did 100% feel type of way.
So you're like, at this point, you're upset, you're feeling bitter, you're like, screaming and shouting to, like, you're venting to your sister, your mum.
Mm-hmm.
And then so you said also that clients actually bigged you up in emails, and yet they didn't even like think to like hire you.
No.
And they wanted you to train the person who you managed who got the job.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So I started feeling like I'm not appreciated at all. When I was in City, I had a lot of incidents as well with some people I was working with as well. And every single time, it's like, no one had my back. Like, I just felt like, what am I doing this for? Am I just doing it for a paycheck? Or, as much as I love the people I worked with, it kind of made me feel like, okay, where's my career going in this corporate world? Yeah. Where do I want to be? I don't know. Can I get there? Because clearly working hard is not enough. And I understand the networking element. And networking is really big on anywhere you go. But as a person, it's just like, what if I don't want to network right now? What if I just want to work hard and be seen? When I say be seen, it's like, yeah, I'm going to go to these forums. I'll be friendly with the wider team. I'll get to know the wider team and stuff. But no, I don't want to go to drinks. Right now, I don't even drink anymore. I don't drink. What am I doing here? Do you know what I mean? Because in the UK, like, drinking is a big culture here. Like, it's a big thing.
It's how people get jobs.
Exactly. It's how network. And I feel like that's an element that's really unfair. Because what about the people that don't drink? Now you have to like be searching for restaurants. Like, but you get what I'm saying? There's like no space for diversity when it comes to these networking spaces. And that's why a lot of people of colour don't like to be in those spaces as much. Because one, it's not welcoming to us. Two, there's a lot of inappropriateness that I don't know how it is within your culture, but for us, we're very like, keep everything at home.
Yeah, like quite reserved. Yeah.
Quite reserved. Like, they don't need to know your business. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? With there, it's like, oh yeah, I slept with that person.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just not me, and I don't want to be in those spaces. But for you to go up in those spaces, you have to be going to the nights out. So I don't want to do that.
So what did you did like other initiatives, like rather than going out drinking? So what kind of things did you do to help encourage like people who didn't want to have that lifestyle going out drinking and like?
So we tried to make the social space as acceptable as possible for everyone. So we'll make sure that there's alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks. It's during the day rather than after work. So sometimes we'll have like these like training weeks. So within that week, we'll have like a free slot that we can have like a rooftop brunch or something like that.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, so it was more sociable for everyone, because I think if I'm at work all day for 8 hours, I don't want to go after work.
Yeah, of course.
Let it happen during the day. Do you know what I mean? So it was a very good experience that we had there. And
so did you initiate that whole like?
I didn't initiate it. I was a part of it.
Okay.
Because I think I don't know I can't remember who initiated it, but I think I just added element of, hey, can we just do it like this? Because I think people will be more inclined to come for X reasons. You know what I mean? Exactly. So I just supported it, but I won't take ownership of that at all.
But it's still a good idea,
yeah.
and the fact that you're encouraging it is like your supporter. It's
Yeah.
great, isn't it? Because there are people who, like you said, even us, like we don't go out and drinking and stuff. Like there might be some people in our community, but those who are like initiated Sikhs, we don't like that environment personally ourselves. As well.
Yeah.
So actually having something like where you said maybe there's mocktails or there's kind of like vegetarian based options or there's other things that other than going out into like a crazy kind of environment, it can be a bit more relaxed and still have the opportunity to network.
Exactly. And that's exactly what happened. It was a great time. We had a blast. That was my first time going to one of those types of events. I've never done this myself. And I was like, this is the type of environment I want to be in. So all of these experiences, I'm internalizing it. I'm taking it on board, you know? So while I was working there, I actually went part-time briefly because I wanted to concentrate on this.
Yeah.
So when you're being an entrepreneur and then doing your business is a really push and pull type of vibe. What made it harder was because with the deco job, I had to be in the office. With City, I didn't.
Yeah, I guess that was the flexibility.
That was the hard part. So I'm not saying like you can't do both. I think it's the flexibility of it. So I went part-time because I said, no, let me give this business a go, but I need more time in it. Because when I was working there, I could only do evening bookings and weekend bookings. You know,
you must have been burnt out though.
Oh, I was tired. Like, because I'm up from like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I'll do a full shift and I'll come here and I'll finish. And studio session will start from 6 o'clock.
Yeah, straight.
Until 10 p.m.
That's insane.
And I was doing it every single day.
And that's recording. Then you got the editing and stuff to do as well.
So things were like slacking and it just got too much. So what encouraged me was that job vacancy situation. When I saw that, I said, no, they don't appreciate me. I'm drowning here, and all these hours I can be putting into my own business.
Is that at Citibank first?
No.
So this is at Deco. So you're at Deco now, and then there's another job opportunity?
So just to clarify where we are now, because I know I said a whole bunch of stuff right now. So City's now done.
Yeah.
I'm now in a Deco. And we're at the part of the story when I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to concentrate on my business 100%. So the situation of the person who got the role rather than me was a situation where I was just like,
okay, the job, sorry. Yeah, back to that.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. It's a massive kick in the teeth.
Yeah.
I would feel so disappointed.
I was so upset.
Yeah.
I was really upset about it. I'm not even going to lie to you.
Why do you think they got the job?
We know why, guys.
Oh, okay.
You know why. But it's whatever. I hope she's doing great.
Yeah.
And
it's sad
proven,
that's a situation because, like you said, there's people quality like yourself. You can see how much you have to offer just from like you talking today in something like that. But at the same time, I'm glad that you decided to. We're going to talk about the rest of the story, but came to doing this full time because you're an amazing asset to my team, effectively a wider extension of my team for doing the podcast as well. So I really appreciate you.
Thank you. And I'm a very faith-based person as well. So I would add the element of, honestly, it was God that was just guiding me. Because honestly, I couldn't tell you how I got to this place without going insane. It was literally him keeping me grounded. Do you know what I mean? So what I mean is like God, in my perspective, puts you in positions for change. And every single time I know something's coming up, something that seems unfair, drastic is happening in that moment. So, for example, when I was made redundant at City, I thought my world was crashing down. But I got a redundancy check and he's like, use that money to do this. And I was like, oh my God, cool. Not. I think most jobs you get redundancy checks, but for me it was the amount that I was really shocked about. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Sometimes it can be pretty rubbish.
Yeah, pretty crap. The
way that they've done it, it seemed like they compensated you nicely.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So for me, that was a point where, okay, something's bad happened, but you got given this, elevate that. With the job situation, it was bad. It was very, it crushed my spirit. It crushed my confidence in myself because I didn't know where I was going to go in my career.
Yeah.
Like, what was next for me? I didn't know. Even though I had this business like happening in the background, I was still concentrating on this corporate business. So when it happened, it was like something in me. I woke up one day and I was just like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm not doing it. I went to work, called my manager on the role, and I said, I lied. I said, I got another job.
Oh, okay.
Because no one knew what I was doing.
Oh, yeah.
Because I wasn't supposed to be doing and with the contract I had.
Oh, is it exclusive that you?
Yeah, you know how these companies like to trap you.
Mm.
Certain companies, they will put clauses in their contract saying you can't be like a director somewhere else, so you can't buy shares from a particular company because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
you have to.
But no, not even to start your own little business or little side hustle.
Nah, City was the same thing.
Oh.
They know how to lock you down. I'm saying when you get these jobs, I know a job is a job, but look at the contract, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Look at the contracts that you're getting, because there's, as I just mentioned, there's clauses within certain contracts that doesn't allow you to be a director somewhere, or if you have, like, I've known people that had to dissolve their companies.
Wow.
Because of it. So no one knew what I was doing. Yeah. So I said, oh yeah, I got another job. I think I said my old job took me back. So I said, see, took me back, and I just couldn't reveal that. Anyway, I was confident. I was at the stage in business where I'm now making profit.
So at this point, you're running your business actually in profit, and now you're at the point of, like, you've told your current employer that you've got another job. So then what happens?
I leave. I think my notice period was like 4 weeks, and I extended it a little bit because I wanted to get a little extra pay. So I think I did like 6.
Yeah, as you do, innit? Like,
as you do. I said, no, yeah, I want to get the last payroll. Let me just work to it. I'm still leaving, so I did like 6 weeks. Anyway,
probably better for them because they can look at someone else.
Exactly. I even helped try and find them someone as well. So whatever, I left the role. Massive
loss to them though. Like, look, just hearing about like your experience and what you did for them and what you brought to the team.
When it comes to companies, and this is from a business owner myself, you're just a number to them. There's always going to be someone else to do it, and there's always going to be someone behind you. Yeah. And you just have to learn. It is what it is. It's how life is. You always think you're the best, and quite deservingly, I felt like I was. Do you know what I mean? But they didn't. It is what it is, and I can accept that. But I'm going to take myself and my skills elsewhere. But this time, instead of taking it to another company, I'm going to use it in mine and use it for myself, because clearly I have these skill sets.
Absolutely.
So, left the job now. The first week off, first of all, it was so surreal. I've never not worked since the age of 16.
Wow. Yeah. I can imagine. You're like, what do I do myself?
What do I do? The first week I slept. I went for walks. I was like, oh my God, it's Wednesday at 2 and I'm here. Like, that's crazy work. Like, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was so excited. Then my mom was like, okay, well, you know your rent's coming up, so what we doing? I was just like, okay, so now we need to get back into work. Yeah. So I took a week hiatus and I just did whatever I wanted to do.
That's amazing.
The best week ever. Now, if you're in a position where you want to work for yourself, I will always say, and this is maybe is a Nigerian in me, you need to have security. Yeah.
It's Indians as well.
Yeah, like you can't just get up and go. I mean, unless you have zero responsibility, and as an average adult, there must be something, even if it's a phone bill. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have some sort of responsibility. So I'll always say, whether you're pushed to leave or you're planning on leaving, have at least 6 months of savings. And when I say savings, it's short-term and long-term savings. So short-term meaning that covers your expenses for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then maybe an extra, I don't know, whatever you think is enough for you on top of that. Do you know what I mean? That's what I believe.
I think that's sound advice, because you do get people, especially nowadays, you've got so many things online. People want to do this, want to do that. And they're just pulled into different things. They just sort of up and leave. They get this shiny object syndrome and be like, yeah, no, I'm going to give it all up to just do this. But actually, they haven't really maybe thought about the process on how many months have you got to like survive on no pay and to cover your bills. Like, what are you doing?
You have to be realistic with yourself. I've been itching to leave for ages. Yes, this pushed me to leave, but thankfully I was in a position where I could, because I don't make irrational decisions. I make rational ones. But even though those 2 days and I woke up and I said, it was simply because I looked at my account. And I said, how much do I have here? And I'm angry. Can this person be my manager? How long can I stand this person be my manager for? And I said, I know you were saving for something. I was saving for a house. And I was just like, I'm going to forfeit this house.
Yeah.
That was literally
for sanity.
For sanity, quite literally. And I was like, oh, okay, we're going to do it. So yeah, have money in your account. Don't just get up and leave your job. Please don't do that. Because bailiff will be knocking at your door. Do you know what I mean? You need to be able to protect yourself. Have the insurances needed. And I'm literally mean insurance, health insurance, income insurance. Anything can happen to you, especially when you're moving on to being by yourself. You don't have a strong client base. You're now going to be chasing invoice to invoice. You don't know where money's coming from, because you're moving from having a stable income every month, you're getting X amount, to not knowing what you're getting for the end of the month. And that's how business is.
I think that's really sound advice, because I can imagine like your parents probably helped drilling that into you, because that's something like Asian parents would probably do as well. Be like, no, son, you must make sure you have this much left.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like,
And
or they'll just think you're stupid. Like I know me and my cousins and stuff like some of them, they'll be like, their dads just be like, you're stupid. What are you
yeah. My mum, Joyce, yeah, I'm grateful. My mum, this is a little backstory. My mum was actually, she was raised in Nigeria, but she was born here. She went to like
she was born here, but then
my mum
raised in Nigeria.
Here. A bit of both.
Okay.
So from childhood to about, I think like 10, she was in Nigeria.
Okay.
And then she was in school from here ever since. So I had a healthy blend of both worlds. My extended family, I won't say as much. They didn't really know what I was doing, so I'll leave them out of it. But
it tends to happen as well. I find that actually probably none of my family have any idea that I'm doing this.
I'm doing
until it comes
until
up.
it happens. You know what I mean? So it's only like now they kind of know exactly what I'm doing. But my mum was scared, but she was very supportive. But I did give her assurance. I said, don't worry, I have enough money for X amount of months. I think I had about 6 months worth of like, say, enough money. And I said, by the 3-month mark, if it's not looking the way I want it to look like, I'll start looking for jobs. Yeah. She said, okay. But it's that fear of not instability. Like it's always going to be within you.
Like anyway, even now you could even be like tempted to find a job, isn't it? Just because to get that extra stability of like monthly reoccurring income.
Exactly. It's a fight. Do you know what I mean? So started working here full time, took a week off, started working here full time, and I put all the energy I was putting in that job, I put it all in this job. I was marketing, I was running around, I was doing bookings, as soon as my availability opened, bookings started flying in.
Really?
Yeah, so I was limiting myself to only doing evening bookings. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So as soon as that Canada opened, I'm like, and I was angry at myself. I was thinking, look, all this time.
Yeah, it was there.
It was literally there.
Just needed to make that shift.
Exactly. Bookings started flying in. The first like 4 months of working for myself was the best 4 months we've ever had. Simply because I was limiting my availability. And I wasn't putting my all into it. So put my all into it and everything just changed from there. It gave me more drive because I'm like, Chloe, you're fighting for this money now, you know?
Because it is that, isn't it? Because at first you're so used to just getting like a check every month or whatever, and it's like easy. But this is actually, you're having to fight to get the money.
Yeah.
But there's probably like it can be hard, but there's that kind of almost that thrill in actually going for it, right?
I remember that was the first time, and I'll say the figure. We had our first big client, our first big booking. He books like 2 days, and it's just really a lot of features and cameras, and it was very extensive booking.
Yeah.
And it was our first time that someone one booking, they paid us, I think, how much was that? It was like £2,000. I looked at myself, I was like, oh my God, this is the first time someone's paid us that amount of money at one go, one time. And they're willing to. You know, because sometimes you just think, oh, is it little old me that you're paying this money to? Do you know what I mean? And it was just so fulfilling, like someone trusts me to pay me this amount of money. Yeah. Now, to millionaires, that might not mean much, but for me, that meant so much in that moment. Not because of the figure, it was because you trusted in what I do.
Almost believed in you, innit?
Exactly. And it made me feel like, no, I need to go harder. Do you know what I mean? So this business now, we're now in 2025, and this business has been open for 2 years and a couple months now. As you said in the beginning, I have 2 studios.
So this one, you've got 2 studios, right?
Yeah.
So you've got this one, which is in Bow, East London. Love it. I love that. The blue is me. I love it.
Yeah.
There's a really nice other one, a latte suite there, but we can maybe put some cut shots in, or you can have a look at the link
website. Yeah.
Bio. And the other one is in
Bermondsey, South London. South London. And that one's going really, really well. But at the end of the day, marketing never stops when it comes to business. People think because you got a clientele, they're gonna just translate into another space, and like it doesn't work like that. And I learned that the hard way.
What do you mean?
I had to find a whole new client base where I'm located, because I thought, oh, it's London, people will travel. It's a good location. Yeah. I just thought, okay, it's near a station, there's parking, there's this. It's not hard. It's just another location. But the client base that I have there is totally different to the client base I have here. Really? Totally different.
What would you say?
The difference is that the other studio is very business based. A lot of businesses go there.
Oh, I know where it is actually. Yeah. It's by Biscuit Factory, isn't it?
It's in Biscuit Factory.
It is in the Biscuit Factory. There's a lot of, because there's a lot of corporate stuff around there as well.
Yeah, it's in Biscuit Factory. Yeah, so it's very business. Like I would say about 70% of our clientele is business clients. Not like, regular folks like us, So it it helped me. It switched on my brain again when it came to like my corporate experience. When everyone's a client to me, don't get me wrong, but when I'm speaking to like regular customer type client, it's more relaxed, it's more like how are you, how's your day, let's talk, da, 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 da. Whereas when it's business clients, they got a quota, they got a thing that they have, a KPI they have to hit, they have to, they've got things they need to do. So okay, the lights here, or this here, I need to speak to this person about budget. Okay, it's very...
Oh, it's rigid, isn't it?
Very
you
rigid.
have to wait for like certain like permissions or authorizations to then filter down to then go ahead, and then, oh God.
It's very, very different.
Yeah.
So...
Not like someone like me just rock up and be like, yeah, Chloe, can we just film today?
Can we just film today? Do you know what I mean? So it's very, very different.
So you had that new client that's given you money. It's like having your first sale, isn't it? Your big sale, and you kind of get that validation of like, someone's believed in me, someone's kind of like trusts me to do this work. And like, how did that make you feel?
It made me feel validated, honestly. It made me feel like as you said, someone trusts me. They don't need to know me. No one told them. It wasn't word of mouth. They just saw it. They saw our work. They liked the website. They said, okay, I'm gonna pay it. And it was just like, okay, now we had to like live up to it so we can keep them on board.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? But it was scary as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, when it comes to entrepreneurship, we, especially people who are a bit apprehensive, and that including myself, we get nervous about the amounts of money you're getting. But guys, it's just an extra zero. You start at £50, then you have £500, then you got £5,000. It's just an extra zero. But whatever process you're doing, it's just more value, it's more quality. You have been working on this system or project or product for how long? You know how beneficial it is to who you're selling it to. So why not it be valued at that price? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I understand the higher the bill, the more intense it can be in terms of quality and delivery. But it's only a step up in terms of how you're building your skill set. And that's how I saw it. When I got this client, I said, okay, we need to step up. We need to change this. We need to add this light. There's even things that I'm planning on doing here. Like I want the whole setup to be different. I want lights hooked up to the ceiling and tracks and all that type of stuff. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, at that moment, it made me feel validated. And it got to the point where the capacity in this studio, I was turning people away.
Wow.
It got to around 2024, like October, September. I'm like, we're turning people away. That's crazy.
Well, both studios open at the same time?
No, but that second studio wasn't opened yet. We opened in January 25.
So that's just recent.
Just recently we just opened this. So this studio, so we're standalone at the moment, this studio only, and we'll start to turn people away. And I was just like, should we get another studio? It was literally like spur of the moment. And we're like, okay, we're calculating funds. Like, can we actually do this? Because now we know how much it's going to cost to actually open a studio. Because remember, when we started this, it was a bit of a
trial and error.
Yeah, trial and error. We started with $3,000, and we had 7, then we had a redundancy check, it was just all over the place. So now we did an inventory check, we checked everything. We're like, oh my God, this is not cheap. Do you know what I mean? And prayed on it, looked at the numbers, everything, and we said, we're turning people away now. What are we going to do? Then we thought, okay, should we just open it? Because the building that we're in is a creative building. So there's like offices all over the building.
I've seen that.
Should we just get another space in the outside? And I said, no. I said, I want to get another type of clientele. And currently there was not enough studios in South London. East London is very like hipster central. You're going to find a lot of stuff happening in East.
Yeah, and central. But like, South, I noticed that. South and West is hardly anything.
It's hardly anything. And I was like, I want to get in there. So I was heavily looking at South. Found Biscuit Factory, shout out to them, and found the perfect space for the price I wanted. And it was literally spur of the moment. I think we started thinking about it in September and we went for it in November.
Oh, wow. As quick as that.
As quick as that.
That's good, because you're at the point of scaling already now. What, after a year or two, like fully like, integrated into your business, getting clients, being booked out.
Exactly. And I don't know why I was more nervous about the second studio than I was with the first one.
Really?
Yes. The difference was, okay, the funds is there to open it now, but is it going to sell? Because now my expenses is now doubled.
Yes.
And I'm like, I've never owed this amount of money before, like, oh my God, how am I going to reach this? So it was more the fear. It wasn't the fear of getting, it was like, it was not about profit. It was like, can I actually make my expenses this month? Like, what am I going to do? Like, this is crazy.
Just to survive.
Obviously, again, I always have a plan. I had a couple months and like, you got about 4 months to make this happen.
I love that. You got this whole planning.
Yeah, like I'm spontaneous, but there has to be a plan behind it.
Yeah.
So I had about 4 months of like expenses. And I think last month was the 4th month. But we've been good ever since.
Oh, being good.
Do you know what I mean? But do you get it? So it was just like, you got about 4 months to make sure this thing goes the way you want to go. If not, then you're S word. I don't know if I'm allowed to on here, but yeah.
A little bit maybe.
Yeah, you're in deep poo, basically. But yeah, so, but when I opened, and I want to make a really big point here. When I revealed I was opening the studio, so I did like a little teaser of it was like a pan to the Bermondsey Underground sign in the station.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like a pan to the sign, and it said, coming soon. And I put, I think 25th of January or something, I can't remember the date on it. And it exploded.
Wow.
I didn't know how much support I had.
Wow.
It was crazy. I think it was about 10K views on Instagram and a couple thousand on TikTok, and people like within my own community, people that I don't even talk to was reaching out to me saying, I saw this, I saw that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anyone in my immediate circle. It was everyone that I've worked with. Even people that were guests on people's podcasts were sharing everything and posting and emailing us and texting us and, oh my God, we're so excited. Well done. Da, da, da. And I'm like, wow, you guys care that much?
Yeah.
That was crazy to me, you know? And
that's quite a contrast from before. You were saying like you had family or friends saying like, oh yeah, you got another client. Have you got a client? Yeah. Are you going to? And so were it the same people saying congratulating you, or wasn't it? Or was it different people?
Those people were silent.
Wow, I bet.
I'm not going to do a hair flip or nothing about it. If that's how people are... I'm not going to do that. Do you know what I mean? I want to, but I'm not. Yeah. I'm trying to be humble here. Yeah. But...
Let it out.
You know, but it's like, when it comes to business, you need to find your audience.
Yeah. I'm
torn about the quote when people say, oh, if your friends don't support you, they're not your real friends. And da, da, da. I'm torn because their project is not your project. Their passion is not your passion. Yes, there should be some element of support, like, well done, maybe congratulate you here and there and repost every now and then, but they are not your audience. Everybody in the comment section when I revealed that I was opening the second studio, was all of my clients.
Wow.
And their podcast guests.
Wow.
Throughout the 2 years that I've been open.
Amazing.
Every single one of them. And I'm like, I worked with you 8 months ago. How do you remember me? Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Because you're amazing at what you do. Like, it shows, like, this journey. I hope people are getting to see. And, like, I know we're only hearing a snippet and a snapshot of what you've been through. But your, like, work ethic, your, like, determination, your passion, your organizational skills, your customer services skills, your comedy value, like, everything that amalgamates together. And you come to this, you're putting that energy into the businesses. And it's showing. And like, you've seen all my guests who have just absolutely loved you. They're like, forget me, get you in. And I'm like, that's amazing. And that's why I was like, we have to get you on, because people need to see the journey of an entrepreneur. Like, how hard was it at first? But actually, how much are you enjoying that journey? Like, people supporting you, clients you've never met before, paying you money that you never had before. And it's like, it's amazing, right? Like,
yeah, it's a journey of self-appreciation. Again, I think I mentioned that I'm not the one to really take gifts. I'm usually the one to give them. And whenever anyone like yourself is giving me an opportunity to say my story, because I don't speak about it often. I might say glimpses if someone asks me, but I won't speak about it often. It's an internal thing as well. I feel like when you've been on such a long journey of trying to get somewhere, you need to have an outlet. So for me, I've been journaling. I'm trying to be a better Christian. So I've been actively praying a lot. I've been just trying to recenter myself, because as much as I love what I do, I'm always giving. Yeah. But if I don't give to myself, I can't give to other people.
That's a beautiful saying, actually.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what am I trying to say here? What I'm trying to say here is that even though I've gone through all of this, where I am now, it has nothing to do with HTS. When I say HTS, it's an abbreviation of Haven Talk Studios. It has nothing to do with HTS. It has everything to do with me, because I'm here every day. I'm doing what I need to do. I enjoy the people I work with, but I'm starting to feel burnt out. And one thing about me, once I start feeling anxious and burnt out, I like to toss things in the bin. I don't do it anymore.
Okay.
But the difference is I love what I do so much. And I'm like, okay, you're starting to feel the way you felt when you hated your last job, when you hated talking to that person, when you hated doing this. But this time, your future is depending on this. You can't just run away from it now. What is the issue? Now I have to start dealing with it, you know? It's easy for me to help other people. It's easy for me to give, but it's not easy for me to help myself.
I think you can almost like run away to another job to kind of like mask what's actually going on. But this is probably a beautiful moment in this time.
Mm-hmm.
Might not feel like it because it's uncomfortable, but it's like you've almost got this opportunity to like, let me actually, like you said, deal with it, you know, put all the kind of anxieties to bed and just be like, what is the problem here? Why can't I face it?
Yeah.
Undo some whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then go forward and like really start smashing it. It could be that pivotal moment.
Exactly. So as a business owner, you should always have rest. You need to be able to get your mental health and your physical health together to continue going. So that's where I am now, because I feel like scaling is to do with me, where the business wants to be, and for me to be able to push it to that point. And this is where I am in my journey. A lot of entrepreneurs are very like, I want to make money. Money is great, do you know what I mean? But you need to also enjoy what you do. So I'm trying to like fall in love with it again. So trying to get involved in more podcasts, like, you know, you invited me here today because that's where I started from. That's my genesis anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Just a disclaimer. Chloe didn't ask me to come on here. I asked her to come on here because I wanted her to share her story, and you can see why. Like, she's great at what she does. Like, so and so, what's the next stage then potentially? Like,
the next stage is now I've stopped working for someone else. I work for myself. I want to get into a role where I can step back a little bit. And when I say step back, it's not that I'm not working. I will actively still do bookings from time to time, but I just want to concentrate on the bigger things or more the direction of the company. Because when your hands in all different pots, you're limited to time to do things, to work on those projects that you want to work on. Do you know what I mean? To scale your business. So I'm at the stage of growth where I want to actually form a team. For me to get a team, it's different things that are blocking me. Obviously, I want to get to a certain financial point for me to actually afford them. I want to trust somebody with my company.
Yeah, it's having the right talent, isn't it? Like,
I am so fearful of employing the wrong person because I've worked with so many people that don't do well at their jobs.
So Gary V, I don't know. Do you know who Gary V is?
I don't know who that is.
He's like, you'll see him online. I'll send you his details. He's like an insane entrepreneur. He started a wine company back in the day for like 13 years. His dad's wine company was scaling. He was on socials.
Oh, wow.
And now he's like a owner of a multi-million-dollar company, which is like an agency.
Oh, wow.
And he's got a personal brand that he does called Gary V. And he people will know who probably watching this who he is. And he's probably invested in a lot of social media platforms as well. He invests in different things. He wants to buy the New York Jets, which is like, I think, a baseball team.
Yeah.
Keeps talking about that. But he posts so much content, and he's like, guys, just post content. And one thing he says is that we need to have like a feedback loop that's quicker. Like if you find that someone, you do trust someone to run your business or whatever, or to come in and they're not good enough. And rather than trying to wait and trying to see if they like will get better, just get rid of them. That you have to be very quick and quite brutal in that journey, because otherwise, if they're not up to your standard, then you need to get rid of them or make a change at that point. Basically, the point is not to wait for too long, because it might not be as brutal or straight away sacking them, but you need to address it straight away because otherwise it's going to cost you later down the line.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, I've heard that saying from a few people.
Yeah. And Alex Hormozi, he's another massive entrepreneur. He's like, you need to have a very quick feedback loop to then scale. So, for example, that could be a particular feedback loop. If you're finding that the person's not talented in the way you want, then you need to change that.
I think you're totally right. I think the edge that I do have, because I've been in the recruitment field for so long, I've done hundreds of interviews.
Yeah,
I kind of can sense if you're faffing me about in an interview, if you're just giving me the good chat. Because I think a lot of bad hires is people having good interviews.
Yes, but terrible at their job. Yeah,
exactly. So I do feel like I have that edge in trying to hopefully find the right person. I'm not perfect, so hopefully I do select the right person. But I think that's my main fear. It's not even just the money aspect to have enough money to. It's because it's my baby.
Yeah, 100%.
I cherish it. This is my life. Do you know what I mean? This is my bread and butter. You cannot come and mess it up, because like shout out to my sister Rachel. She actually is my business partner in this. She actually helped me when I was like 6 months into the business. The business started getting bigger and I couldn't do it on my own. So she jumped in to help me, and she stayed ever since.
Oh, wow. She does a great job, because she's like, you're likely to speak to her, who does sort of deals with a lot of the admin.
Yeah, she's the ops man. She does all of that. She is that girl, you know, shout out to her. And we learn things very, very differently. And one thing I want to mention about me and her relationship, even though we're like best of mates, when it comes to this business, I'm the manager, and it's such a weird dynamic especially when you're working with family.
Got a boss in it.
Yeah,
Is she
but
an older sister
she's my older sister
as well?
Yeah, but it's not animosity as well, because I look up to her.
Yeah, of course.
So when something goes wrong here, she comes to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean you're coming to me? You're my older sister. What are we going to do about this problem? Do you know what I mean? And it's such a weird feeling, honestly. So, oh my God, Chloe, this has happened. I'm like, okay, deal with it. Like, you know what to do. You got to brace for it. Because she's my inspiration.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, oh my God, like a lot of people rely on me. Then I'm like, yeah. So anyway, so having a strong team is important. You know, I rely on her simply because she knows what she's doing. She has the experience for it. I know where she lives.
Yeah.
And it's like, we work well together. So whoever's going to add to this team has to kind of understand our culture as a business as well. We're very community based, but we get the job done.
Mm.
So God willing, I'll be able to find someone that aligns with us eventually. But yeah, that's what's happening right now. Obviously, there's other services and stuff we want to get into that will help profit wise get us to the next step. But our main thing now is scaling the business financially and finding a good team to work with us. I think that's my next step.
Is that, what's the biggest struggle? Would you say that's the biggest struggle now at the moment that you're having in terms of trying to scale, trying to find someone, or is there other things that you think?
I think scaling. So there was an episode that you had, which I believe will be posted before this one, with Saj.
Yes.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
And
Saj to me, shout
out to him. And he mentioned that while he was doing his venture, he opened a office that was big enough for like 20 people or something.
Yeah.
But he didn't have that. Yeah. And off camera, I asked him, like, when do you know is the right time to scale? And he was like, when you've hit the capacity of that. So I knew that I needed another studio when I knew I couldn't. I was literally turning people away. Mm. So for me, I'm now at a new stumbling block of, okay, I can't handle everything on my own anymore. Mm. And as I said, the challenge is finding the right person. And obviously, the obvious challenge obviously is revenue as well. So we need to do that.
So would you say revenue, like having enough money to then hire people to scale?
Yeah.
Issue?
Yeah. I think everything that glitters is gold. And I get compliments all the time. Chloe, you're doing so well. Chloe, you're doing so. And I'm like, I am going from invoice to invoice like you. Do you know what I mean? It's hard out here. Yeah. It's hard, you know? And I think people think I'm making tens of thousands. Yeah. I'm like, I'm doing all right. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not where I want to be. You know, the first 6 months of me leaving my job, in terms of me getting paid, I wasn't getting paid a fraction of what I was being paid corporate. Mm. Do you know what I mean? So I felt like I was starting from scratch. It was hard, you know? So where I am now is nowhere near where I want to be. And now it's just like, okay, cool. How long can you live like this? What is the next loop? So it's like, it's again, I'm referencing another episode with
Lewis. Yeah.
Lewis.
Monday.
Yes. Lewis mentioned a really good quote that I really resonated with. And it was basically this: what is the next step? Are you always in that circuit, this bracket of money? Like, are you always from 1K to 3K a month, or you're 5K to, what is it, you know? So it's like, when you're constantly in that loop of making a certain amount of money, it gets frustrating because you don't know how to get to the next level. Mm. And I think that's when you have to think about, okay, what is your business about? Is your business changing with the trends of what's going on in the industry that you're doing? And I think that's where I am now, you know? I started off by just having a space that people can rent. And even though that still works and it's a function that I will continue to do, what else can my business do? Mm. Do you know what I mean? And that's like any business. Like if you got a drink like an apple juice, for example, or like Tango. Now they've got Tango Apple and Tango this and Tango that. You have to
like sort of not diversify, but kind of like have other strands of the business.
Exactly. So that's a challenge because now I'm entering industries that I have no clue about. You know, no experience. Everything that I've done up to this point is through experience. You know what I mean? So with the podcasting thing, even though I didn't know much about the podcasting industry when I started, I had an idea because I have been a podcaster. Yeah. I've gone to studios. I've been doing YouTube videos. I have an idea of how editing works. It's all life experience where now I'm like, okay, I'm entering into videography and stage setups and these are all the things that are on our mind. I'm like, I've never done this before.
Yeah.
But this is what we can do.
Yeah.
You know?
And you got a really cool product as well, where
Yeah.
you like actually just released it recently, where you can manage, you're pretty much the production team behind
Yes.
someone. So you can manage like not only the video recording, editing, but also like posting to like the various channels for podcast streaming services. And so that's a really cool thing. So you offer quite a few good packages.
Yeah, so we do. So to start that challenge, to fight that battle, as you said, we open a new service. I'll call it a hub. It is a hub. It's called Podcasters Hub.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still within the remit that I'm comfortable with when it comes to podcasting, but I'm trying something new. So essentially what Podcasters Hub is, as you said, is having a full production team for your podcast. Elements that we already do. So obviously we already film people's podcasts. We already edit people's podcasts. But essentially, when it comes to podcasting, people don't understand how technical it could be. It's the easiest part is sitting down and recording.
Yeah.
That's the easiest part.
That's why I just come here and then
Yeah.
But it's a lot of work.
It's a lot. It's the coordination of guests. It's the planning the episodes. It's the editing the episodes. People really mess up on the editing the episodes because they don't understand how much time it takes. If you've recorded 10 episodes, who's editing them? Do you know what I mean? It's editing the episodes. It's understanding social media trends. It's getting those reels out. How many do I need? What's this context? What's all this? It's too much, you know, especially if you want to blow or whatever your version of success of a successful podcast is. Do you know what I mean? But I'm sure everyone has a particular threshold they want to get to. And it's understanding that. And because I've studied podcasts so much with the people that come into my studio and just me following certain pages and trying to understand what's going on, because the UK is lagging.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. 'Cause
yeah.
In America, it's really popular for podcasting, but UK, we don't actually, we think there's a lot of podcasts because only the ones that are showing up are showing up because we're interested in it. But actually, when you think about it, there's not many, is there, like out there?
Not as many. I believe the podcast industry in the America is in the billions at the moment, but in the UK, we're still in the millions.
In terms of what?
In terms of like profitability of podcasts. So the industry itself.
Okay.
In America, I don't know the actual figures, but I know it's in the billions in America. But in the UK, we're still in the millions. So we're nowhere near, meaning that there's a huge gap. And it takes a community to get to that point. And the cultures in America and the cultures in the UK is totally different. Yeah. That's why you see a lot of people in any profession tend to move to places like America because the opportunities are there more.
Yeah.
Well, why is that? Do you know what I mean? And I think maybe because me being a Londoner, I feel like in the UK, people gatekeep a lot and want to keep things to themselves, not show them how to get to this point or give them access to this person. Do you know what I mean? But simply because they want to keep it to themselves. I'm like, we can't work like that. When anyone asks me, oh my God, how did you work with this person? How did you work with that person? You need to start with your community and broaden out. So for us, what we're doing is we are working with schools. So we're currently in the process of working with the Ravensbourne University.
Wow.
Just to go into their uni, because it's a digital university. So one of their modules is podcasting.
Okay.
So just talk to them about what it's like, what we do, you know. And then I'm hoping to like work with the council a bit more to do certain things, you know, whether it's filming things for them. You have to work with your community and go out. It's a community effort. Even though you got people in the industry that are competitors, you have to work together. That's why you see collabs all the time. You see fashion brands collab all the time. You see Gucci and I don't know, Uggs bringing a product that you need each other.
You need to collab. It's a
you have
good
to.
business model. Yeah,
it's a good business model. You have to at some points because it allows space for everyone. There's enough money and business for everyone.
100%. I agree. And I think like if anyone is thinking of starting a podcast, I 100% like firstly say do it. Even though this is my first one doing it, it's because I've had this long-term dream of wanting to do it. And I really enjoy just probably partly selfish because I could have gotten into videography and stuff like that, and I used to edit. But I like the fact that I can come in here and I've got someone like Chloe who kind of manages pretty much like the studio and things around the podcast, and I can come in and do my bit. And she makes it very easy. She makes it easy for my guests who really get on with her. She makes it easy and Rachel for deliverables. So I know within 72 hours I'm going to get all my footage. And it's also affordable as well. I mean, compared to the London prices that you're having to pay, it's a very affordable studio. And it's great. Like, I mean, look at this is just one of the studios. So you've got 2 studios, each with like 2 different suites. So check them out. We put the put the link in the description. Sorry. Do check out Chloe's studio. It's called Haven Talk Studios. And shout out to Rachel as well. Again, we said,
Big
and
to her, man.
to Chloe and Mumsy as well.
Their mums as well. There'll be no HTS without them too, honestly. And obviously the support of everyone else. So yeah. So in terms of the business, the culture of the business, of any business, should be important to you. For us, is community, is a hub, is a place to network, is a place to, get your message out there. Do you know what I mean? So
why should someone do a podcast though?
Why should someone do a podcast? For many reasons. It can be for something special, and it doesn't have to be for anything at all. People, as human beings, we want to feel like we're doing things for a particular purpose. And I went through this, so I need to. Sometimes you just want to talk, So there's a spectrum to podcasting, but there's an audience for it.
Yeah.
So why to do a podcast? It could be because you want people to see your personality. It could be a personal project. I've had people do a diary of their life. It could be you want to market your business. It could be for anything. So there's not a particular reason why you should do a podcast. But one thing I would say is that, maybe because of how I am as a person, there should be an ethical reason as to why you want to do it. Meaning that whatever you're putting out there, hopefully, we all love a bit of controversy, but be ethical about it. We see different podcasts doing some craziness. I'm not gonna lie. Online,
I see some, and to do is each to their own. But for me, it's not even about the controversy, because that does go viral and stuff like that.
Then, yeah.
But I just genuinely want to see people's journey, like yourself. Like, you are like a normal person who was like in a well-paid job in a couple of very corporate roles, and you now left that to do your dream. And it's like, even though you've probably felt like wanting to go back sometimes, but you're so much happier, and you seem yourself from what you said as well.
That happiness and freedom feeling, it's so important. Guys, I don't understand. We have a limited time on this planet.
Yeah.
Whatever you believe in, then fine. But biologically, you only got a limited amount of time on this planet. You need to live for yourself. It is so important. I can't tell you now. Again, I'm going to reference Lewis again. He did this. You have to watch the episode. The episode was great, guys. Yeah. Basically, he made a comment saying that when he was working his job before he started doing what he was doing now, he felt every time he put that lanyard around his neck, he felt physically sick.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I related to that feeling so much because it felt like someone had control over me. I couldn't live my life. I had to ask someone to take a holiday, to go to the toilet. I had a manager tell me, what? "Oh, Chloe, smile more. Leave me alone because you don't know what's going on today." Do you know what I mean? I had a manager, one of my one-to-ones, the negatives wasn't anything to do with my work. It was, "Chloe, I think we should talk more and like you need to smile more. It makes me feel like you don't like me." Who cares if I like you or not? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I don't. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So just leave me alone. I'm getting the work done, And it's like, you can dictate my work, but now you're dictating my emotions. It was too much.
Yeah.
So these corporate, I have stories for days, but we're not going to get into it today. But it's just like, you need to live your life. So like, even though I was making I'm nearly there. I'm just about hitting it now. But when I first left the job, I wasn't making a quarter of what I was making personally for myself when I left my job. And it felt crap at times because I had to give up things I love, like my nails, my hair, my makeup. They're all the little girly, like things I like to do for myself. But I felt so free. Yes, I had to motivate myself to wake up at 9 a.m. to actually do stuff. But I felt so free. I can control my time. And I don't want to give that back to anyone ever again.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a reason why a lot of people
do it,
who are stuck in their jobs. Because I speak to a lot of people and I just genuinely ask, "So what you do?" and stuff, and quite curious and stuff. And it's not no judgment at all on them. It's more like a sense of like, actually, are they living to their potential? Like Lewis, again, quoting Lewis, a great guy, actually. Got to check out his podcast.
Yeah.
Are you reaching your potential? We're not even like touching it. And it's like, well, I know you have to pay the bills. I know you've got responsibilities, but there's like so much opportunity out there in this day and age online. Like, you can do something else out there. And so what would you say to someone who wants to start their own business or freelance or something, or get out of this like crazy rat race of a 9 to 5?
Don't be irrational. You have to plan regardless of what you do. But once that plan is in place and you stick to it, you'll get to where you need to be. This means that when you want to start a business, have a business plan. Please have a business plan. And obviously there's different levels to business plan, but even if it's like you can just see your business written out on a piece of paper. This is my product or service. This is how much I want to make. This is the targets. This is what I've done so far. Do you know what I mean? There's something on paper so you can see it actually planning out for you. Do you know what I mean? I feel like people are really in their heads. And when I ask people, okay, can I see a bit, what's your business about? How have you thought of this? Have you thought of that? Have you thought of that? They don't know what they're doing. So if there's no planning in place, you already failed there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You don't know where
you don't know what you're doing. Do you not even have to sign up for company house? Do you know what? Have you got an accountant? Do you know about any of this? Do you know if you didn't put your accounts in, you'll be fined X amount? Like, do you know this stuff? Do you know what I mean?
Confirmation statement.
Literally that. Mine's juicing. I'm like, oh God, here we go again, another year. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, do you know all of the stuff that's happening? You don't know. Do you know if you want to be a sole trader or a limited company? Do you know the difference?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They're key little things.
Those key things are so important. What contracts do you have in place? If you have a business partner, what contracts do you have in place? Have you trademarked your name?
Yeah.
We haven't even started the business yet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's them ones where like you need to understand what comes with it. Because when I started, I planned poorly. I didn't know what I was getting into. That's what I'm saying now, because I've lived it. Please, you have to plan. You need to know what you're getting into. That's number one.
And just on that note, actually, so I used to work in partnership with the British Library for a local authority, and they've got a really, really cool program. It's dotted around the country. It's called BIPC, which is the Business and Intellectual Property Centre, which basically is kind of run in local libraries of local authorities all around the country. But check out the British Library specifically. They can put you in touch with your local kind of place centre. And what they do, they have these workshops where you can actually, do you set up as a sole trader or do you set up as a limited company? What are the two differences? Like accountancy workshops, coffee mornings, you have like these kind of free tools and resources to help you set up your business. Well, also, I know business plan's quite a key one. A lot of people get stuck with that. So you can contact them. And also I'm going to put a link below as a resource where you can get a free business plan. It's a really easy to do business plan, actually. I think it's called Strategizer. A lot of them usually are quite complicated and quite like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. But this one's a very, very easy to understand and navigate. So I'll put a link in it below, and then guys, just check it out. Because this is what I want it to be. I want it to be resourceful for people who are in the position, like, what do you do? Because there are some people just not serious. You're like, you're not going to never be a company owner. You can tell, but that's fine. And some people just love their 9 to 5. They're happy. They're steady.
Yeah. And there's no qualms for that at all. Like, being an entrepreneur is not for everyone.
It's not.
And that's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay. Do you understand? It's not, I'm not dissing anybody. It's okay.
100%.
But it's a thing where if you do want to lead with your corporate in whatever you're doing, just make sure you've got a career path. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And when I was doing that, I was, how I was trying to navigate where I wanted to be was obviously trying to network as best as I could, but going on LinkedIn and typing, the job role that you have and going to people and seeing their LinkedIn journey.
Yeah.
If you do that, you can see like people's career path, because you can go on like ChatGPT and all that. But sometimes you want to see authenticness. Like, how did you get to that director role? Let me see what you've been doing. And you saw that 15 years ago, they were
a roadmap in it. Yeah.
A clear roadmap. So there's things you can do to try and get to where you want to be. You know, when I was in my corporate space, I did a Prince 2. I was like, okay, I want to pivot to project management and stuff like that. So I did my Prince 2. My mum works in that field as well. So she was trying to like get me in there and everything. And I was like, this is not for me. Do you know what I mean? So you can always pivot through life. There's people that start businesses and say like, I don't want to do it anymore, and go back to work. It totally
and
depends.
It's okay, isn't it?
It's okay.
Because I think what happens is that we feel judged and we don't, because like you said, people are like, oh, have you got any clients here? Are you getting anywhere? How's business going? And almost like nitpicking a bit. But actually, there's a quote of your family or friend or closest person too is actually probably not going to be your customer. Your first customer is going to be a stranger.
Yep.
And that hit hard.
Yeah.
I was like, that slapped. I was like, whoa, actually, yeah, you're right. Like sometimes we're not open to supporting our friends and local businesses. And there's that bit of jealousy sometimes even, isn't it?
It's human beings, man.
And it's like, actually, if we could support local businesses and each other, I think it'd be a much better place. Like, do you know what I mean?
And that's what I said in community.
Yeah.
You need each other to grow.
Yeah.
But that's unfortunately not the world we live in. There's people like that, yes, but this is not how it is. But you can create that. So that's why I'm doing it for myself. When I first opened my studio, that's when studios started popping all over the gaff. And There's one in particular studio that literally has the same set as mine.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, not knowing that they've obviously ghost called us before.
Oh.
They've followed, and I've investigated, you know, and it's okay. You're Snoop Dogg. It's what we do out here. It's a game. Do you know what I mean? But when I saw this space, I was like, this is exactly my studio.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to feel about it. I spoke to my mom and I was just like, what do I do? Like, they've got the same thing going on here. And she said, well, you're doing something right because someone's copying you.
Yeah, that's a
And
shout.
I was like, okay. So what I did was, what I started doing, I started following people, like certain studios in London, and I introduced myself. I just said, not because I felt a type of way, I just said, in that particular studio, I introduced myself as, hi, I'm Chloe, I'm from Haven Talk Studio. I want to say congratulations on opening your studio. I wish you all the best of success. And from there, we actually built a relationship.
That's really nice.
In some other studios, we talk.
Yeah, that's great.
This podcasting world can feel very lonely.
Yeah.
You need each other. And I remember one studio I was speaking to, and they were like, oh, I thought it would be awkward. And I was like, I get why you think that, but we're all in this together.
Yeah.
I'm not going to steal your clients.
Yeah.
I mean, if they come, I can't stop them. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, it is what it is.
And it forces collaboration sometimes, actually. They might be overbooked. Like, let's just say you're overbooked and you can send it to so-and-so. And they might return the favour as well, actually. Hopefully they would. Hopefully.
But that's what you hope for, innit? Yeah. But it's them ones where it's just like, if you see me, don't feel awkward, say hi. Do you know what I mean? So what I've actually started doing is following other studios and introducing myself.
That's really
to understand that I'm here if you ever need help, advice, talk, chat, whatever. Do you know what I mean?
I think you should set up a course on how to start up a podcast studio. And then make that a digital product, then you can like...
Do you know how many people has told me that?
Really?
Literally 2 days ago, my auntie sat me down. She was like, I want to talk to you. She called me. And I said... She called me to come over to the house. And we don't do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
That's unusual.
Yeah, I went over. She was like, I want
auntie.
to talk to you. Yeah. And she was just like, you need to do a course right now in showing people how to open a studio.
Yeah.
And I'm like... You think, and I had like some reserves. I was like, oh, but what if? Anyway, we'll go into that later. But I had reserves about it, and she was like, no, you need to do it now. So yeah, I'm working on it.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah,
you actually are. Fantastic. Heard it. Yeah, second or first, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
we're working on it. We're working on it.
I think that's great. I think 100%. And guys, once it is out, if that is, we'll pop it in the link again in the description because we want to support local businesses. Chloe's amazing, and if you ever want a studio, check out Haven Talk Studio. They've got one in Bow, East London, and one in Bermondsey, South East London. And you can amazing to work with. There are other studios in London as well. Feel free to check them out as well. But these guys, I've worked with them. They're affordable and great. Like I keep coming back. We've done 5 episodes now with you. Hope to do more. And yeah, I appreciate you like telling your story today.
Thank you. I just want to say first of all, thank you so much for allowing me to just speak, because I don't really speak about my journey a lot. And I think when the saying it here, just maybe understand where I've come from, where I want to be and where I was. And yeah, I'm gonna give myself a little pat on the back.
Yeah, no.
I've done a good job, girl. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It feels really good just to be able to have the opportunity to speak. And even though we're at the beginning of your pod, you know, you've just started this journey. I've said it every single episode we ended, you know, the guests are phenomenal. The lineup is nice, guys. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm actually excited for who else you bring on the pod.
Yeah, me too. Don't know that.
No pressure. And honestly, anyone means good chat.
Yeah.
And that's another element I want to say is when it comes to podcasting, you don't need the biggest and the loudest person to be in your pod, even though it can help, of course. But it just means as long as you get a good authentic chat and it's well put together, you'll be fine. Do you know what I mean? And so far, I've seen amazing stuff on this podcast, and I hope you guys are enjoying it too. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share every single podcast Harinder's doing, because I've enjoyed it, and I'm gonna repost everything.
Oh, amazing!
So don't worry about it.
No, you've been amazing, Chloe. Thank you so much. I mean, like the kind words as well, and it's good to get that almost sort of validation from someone who's not only like experienced and seen loads of podcasts, you've done podcasting yourself, and you're there in the thick of it, behind the scenes. And actually, Chloe helps us navigate things as well, because I'm still quite new at this. Like, what will happen is we'll do a little feedback, like, Chloe, what you reckon, how we doing? Like, and she'll give us an honest opinion. She's like tuned in. Mm-hmm. And then my guests are there like, why are you not mic'd up? And I'm like, amazing. So a massive shout out to Chloe for that as well. And like proper gassing each other up. But I think it's important, like you just did as well, someone who's worked hard like yourself should give yourself a pat on the back. I think where people are just kind of like, they're just like, oh yeah, I'm amazing. That's, you know, all right, do your thing. Mm-hmm. But like you said, not everyone can be an entrepreneur. because it's a hard and tough journey. But actually, those who have done that and come on a journey like yourself definitely should be proud of what you've done. And I think the future's bright for you. I think you got so much more to come, and I can't wait to see.
I'm buzzing. I'm excited. Yeah, man. Thank you for letting me share my story. I've had a great time. And yeah, if you guys can support your girl, do that. You know, I think Harinder's going to put everything in the description as well. So do that.
100%.
And yeah, excited.
Definitely. And like you can, there's going to be more to come from Chloe as well. We're going to definitely, I think we're going to look out for the podcast coaching on how to set up your own podcast.
How to set up an own. Oh yeah. So we got that. We got the Podcasters Hub, which is a subscription service of having your own team, a podcasting all together, like filming, editing, social media, everything.
Like
and
if you're like me, who just, I don't want to do it. I'm kind of like, yeah, I've got, like you said, time is limited. I'm a family man and I need to just get on with what I need to do and run my own business and agency that I have as well. So come in here and being like kind of trusting Chloe with to do like a lot of the work that she does. It's so much easier, guys. So definitely, I think the podcast hub is a fantastic idea.
We also, I'm now working on a course on how to open your own, not just podcast studio, content studio. So it's a more universal type of setup. So we're working on that. Hopefully it'll be happening. And something that's outside of podcast and more to do with me is that I'm actually launching a book.
Whoa.
Yeah, July 14th, I've set the date.
No way. I didn't even know about this, guys. That's amazing.
So I started promoting it. Basically, let's just start here. The book is called It's Not Your Fault.
Okay.
And it's a personal journey. It has nothing to do with what I've been, like actual stories of what I've been through. It's more the feeling of the circumstances that I've been through that can relate to other people and how to understand it and move on. So it's not your fault. Reclaiming your boundaries and moving away from broken people.
Wow.
I've been through a lot in my life, from childhood to adulthood, and it shaped my personality. It has shaped my personality so much. There's vulnerable areas that I'm trying to work on, and one of the ways I'm working on it is trying to be more self-expressive, because I tend to keep a lot of things to myself, but I've realized how reserved it's made me feel. And because I journal a lot, I was just like, I need to write about this. This is not right. You know what I mean? And in the book, I talk about boundaries. I talk about friendships. I talk about love triangles. I've talked about many things, even though we established at the very beginning of the book that accountability is very important. So if you have done something bad, you must apologize and address it. But there's a lot of circumstances that has nothing to do with you, and it's not your burden to carry. And to understand that people will be people. Human beings are strange. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes you need to understand that the way they acted has nothing to do with you. The way they decided to deal with that situation has nothing to do with you. Don't take ownership of that. Do you know what I mean?
It's not about you.
Exactly. It's not always about you. You don't have to always make sure everything looks pretty or say sorry for the sake of stopping the argument or whatever that is, because that has been a consistent pattern in my life and it's affected me at home and in work. Do you know what I mean? And with this business, aside from me obviously meeting people and everything, it's helped me as a person. It's made me more confident. It made me feel more comfortable to sit in conflict and, as the kids say, stand on business. Do you know what I mean? Because I'll run away from it before. This forced me to kind of be like, no, this is not right. Or I don't like this. No, you cannot do this. I've never really been comfortable doing that. But when I've been put in an authoritative position, it's forced me to be that way. And it's helped with my personal confidence so much. So when I wrote this book, it was like, it took about 4 months. It's a small book. It's only 10 chapters. I think it's about 30 pages long. It's nothing crazy. But it's just like, it just puts different circumstances into perspective. Like, hey, this is not your fault. You have nothing to do with this. It's not your burden to carry. It is theirs. It is their problem. But I want you to understand, when you're in that situation, you know what that means. So like projecting and being a scapegoat for things and stuff like that. Understand, I'm actually the scapegoat in this situation. They're actually projecting on me in this situation. I'm actually people pleasing. I need to stop doing that because I'm enabling their behavior. Do you know what I mean? So
it's all sort of psychological.
It's all psychological. And being in the type of culture I'm in, mental health is not really respected. It's just get on with it.
Same.
It's like, what do you mean? You're depressed. Don't wash the dishes. was depressed. But it's really, really important.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you get it? It's true.
You ain't got time to be depressed, bro. Just carry on.
We've got bills to pay. Like, get on with it. So it's something that I'm working on, and I've never done therapy. I'm not sure if I'll be comfortable with it, but what I do know is that my mental health is important. And before I get into the space, if I was to go into therapy, I need to understand what I'm going there for.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another project I'm working on that I'm really, really excited. It'll be available on Amazon and Apple Books July 14th, and it's called It's Not Your Fault.
That is fantastic. I cannot wait to see that online. I mean, we're probably releasing this by the end of July, so we will definitely pop the link down in the description for that book. I mean, I'm going to read it myself. I think you covered a lot of fantastic points. I think mental health is so important. And I think there's a lot of similarities in both our sort of communities, in terms of the wider communities, that there is like a stigma around sort of mental health, and it's not really discussed. And it's so important nowadays as well to probably talk about it or to understand it yourself. And this book could be key for that. So, guys, please do check it out. Please support Chloe, our girl, who's been absolutely amazing at running her 2 studios in East London and South London. They're called Haven Talk Studios. Links are in the description. I want to wish Chloe the best of luck with it. We're going to be definitely continually supporting her. Looking forward to filming more in the studio as well in the coming year. So thank you so much, Chloe, for joining us today and sharing your story. I appreciate your vulnerability and some of the things that you shared that are obviously close to your heart.
Thank you.
And I wish you the best of luck with this business going forward. I think you're going to absolutely smash it.
Thank you so much. Honestly, I really enjoyed my time. Hope you guys liked what I said. Hope I wasn't waffling too much, guys. But yeah, I loved it here. It was good. It was good.
Have you got any last words for anyone who anything about entrepreneurship or running a business or anything that you think will be like any tips?
If you don't start, nothing's going to happen. So get out your head, put it on paper, and just start. When I say just start, people think, okay, I'm going to start buying all the products I need. No. Yeah. Write it down. Yeah. Just start could be, I'm going to write this down, or I'm going to go online and research this. Just start.
I love that. Just start. Get started on your entrepreneurship journey, freelancing, wherever it is that you do that project. I think you've got some really amazing gems from Chloe today. And Chloe, I remember you saying as well, there's a couple of things that just came to mind when you said about you go wash the dishes if you're depressed and that. There's this, I watched this one video. It was like the guy was saying that in historically, people didn't have time to be depressed because we don't know how true this is, right? But because they were too busy trying to survive. And now that we're kind of survived effectively, we're just kind of working, earning money, spending money and stuff, consumerism, consuming and stuff like that. And there's now this chance for it to come out almost. So mental health is important, and depression and anxiety and other sort of ADHD, all these sort of all these things at the moment that people are talking about.
And I think with the survival thing quickly is when you don't have the freedom to just have autonomy of your life, you're going to be constantly in survival mode. So you're never going to have the time. So for me, it was being locked in a job that didn't appreciate me, taking all my time. There was no time for none of that. But even though I work 25/8 here, I'm always here. I'm always Don't get me wrong. When you're an entrepreneur, you're working 10 times harder than you worked in a corporate job. But because I enjoy what I do, yes, I know I'm going to be tired some days, but I like coming back here. And just that alone is adding positivity to my mental health. I enjoy where I am. That's one place. At home it's if you're continuously in an environment that doesn't allow you to think for yourself, you're going to be in survival mode, and you're not going to have the freedom you need to have to help your mental health, whatever that means. So as soon as I was in a place where I was free, now I'm able to concentrate on myself. And that's where I'm at. And now I'm at the journey where I'm actually have a book that I'm putting out because of it. It's such a full circle moment. It's really weird. It's very strange when you think about it.
I think it's fantastic. Just listening to you today has been really inspiring. And I'm sure there's going to be viewers today who and listeners who are actually really inspired by your journey. And we'll put in socials as well for Chloe as well, if you want to reach out to her. Any advice and stuff, I'm sure she'll be happy to share. And again, really appreciate having you on the podcast today.
Woo, that was good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's Chloe. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, please like, subscribe, and turn on all bell notifications for future podcasts that we release. Let us know how we did. Love your feedback. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What kind of questions should we ask? What kind of guests should we have? Any feedback would be really good because we want to make the experience good for you. It's not always going to be about conflict or anything like that. We don't really like that kind of stuff. We want to actually help people like yourself who are watching, who may be on an entrepreneurial journey, or you're stuck at a crossroad on knowing what to do with maybe running a business or going freelance. We want to kind of provide support for you, maybe some tools, maybe some resources, but most importantly, we want to share those journeys of those who've actually been through it and live to tell the tale. And that doesn't mean that they're millionaires, billionaires all the time necessarily. They're actually people who are going through this process at the moment, and we're going to catch up with them again in maybe 6 months' time, a year's time. And Chloe, would you join us again for that to see how you're getting on?
100%. Of course I would. You know that.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I'm going to be here.
Amazing. Thank you so much, guys. We hope to see you on the next podcast. Until then, my name's Harinder Mullay, and thanks for watching. Take care. Bye now.